Joseph arrived in Egypt as a slave, sold to Potiphar, one of Pharaoh's officials and captain of the guard. He went from being his father's favorite son to a nameless slave in a foreign land. But even in slavery, God had not abandoned Joseph. The Lord was with him and gave him success in everything he did. Potiphar noticed that Joseph was different. Whatever Joseph touched prospered, and everything he managed succeeded. Potiphar recognized that the Lord was with Joseph, so he put Joseph in charge of his entire household and everything he owned. From that day, the Lord blessed Potiphar's household because of Joseph. Joseph had risen from slave to manager of one of Egypt's most important households. Now Joseph was well-built and handsome. After some time, Potiphar's wife took notice of him and said, "Come to bed with me." But Joseph refused, saying, "My master has withheld nothing from me except you because you are his wife. How then could I do such a wicked thing and sin against God?" Though she spoke to Joseph day after day, he refused and avoided being alone with her. One day, Joseph went into the house when none of the household servants were inside. Potiphar's wife caught him by his cloak and said, "Come to bed with me." Joseph pulled away, leaving his cloak in her hand, and ran out of the house. He chose to flee from temptation rather than compromise his integrity. When she saw Joseph had escaped, her desire turned to fury. She called the servants and showed them Joseph's cloak, saying, "This Hebrew slave came in to attack me, but I screamed. When he heard me scream, he left his cloak and ran out." When Potiphar came home, she told him the same lie. It was a complete reversal of the truth, twisting Joseph's righteousness into a criminal act. Potiphar burned with anger and had Joseph thrown into prison, the place where the king's prisoners were confined. Joseph, who had done everything right and honored God, was now imprisoned for a crime he did not commit. He had fled from sin only to be punished as if he had committed it. The injustice was crushing. But even in prison, the Lord was with Joseph. He showed him kindness and granted him favor in the eyes of the prison warden. The warden put Joseph in charge of all the prisoners and made him responsible for everything done there. The warden paid no attention to anything under Joseph's care, because the Lord was with Joseph and gave him success in whatever he did. Joseph's journey had taken him from favorite son to slave to household manager to prisoner. Each time he rose up, he was cast down again through no fault of his own. Yet through it all, Joseph maintained his integrity and his faith in God. He continued to serve with excellence wherever God placed him, never becoming bitter or compromising his character. This story teaches us about maintaining integrity when tested, fleeing from temptation rather than flirting with it, and trusting God even when we face injustice. Joseph could have given in to Potiphar's wife and secured his position, but he chose to honor God instead. Though this choice led to prison, Joseph refused to compromise. Sometimes doing the right thing leads to suffering, but God was preparing Joseph for something greater. The prison was not the end of his story, but another chapter in God's plan.